I know some people are going to conclude, man, you must hate that Wolfman a whole lot. And yes, there will be quite a few negative reviews coming from me on the Wolfman or the lack thereof with Blumhouse's latest. Well, now it's official. It's a complete failure. But how failure is it failure? Well, I will try to be as factual as possible because people don't really know Hollywood, don't seem to understand. These are projections, so the final numbers are not really here yet, though I think the final numbers will be even worse. But thus far, after a not very great opening, it was way below projections. Now we have the Wolfman standing at a near total of $30 million. That'd be more precise, like 28 to 29 million. And I'm being generous with the 28 million. It could be like as low as 27.5 million. So remember now, kids, they paid 25 million just on the budget. And granted, it's Blumhouse. They never pay for marketing. The marketing is always going to be really, really small with Blumhouse. Again, that's its model. It pays very little to make the film or even advertise the film. It makes money because people will go see it in theaters for reasons, and that's not happening this time. So let's assume it's like just 5 to 7 million. So that's like 32 million to make the film, market the film. Yeah, chances are it is not ever going to make that at all. It's just not going to be profitable theatrically at all. It would have to make double that number to be profitable in the theater. So that would be what, at least 50, 55 million? There is no chance in hell it's going to make 55 million. I was actually going to do a video, not because I wanted to make money or succeed, but saying, okay, a miracle could happen where a flood of Blumhouse fans will just show up and inject it with at least what, maybe another $8 million. That didn't happen, so its drop is insane. Usually with like a Marvel movie or MCU movie, you get like what, 100 million first weekend, then 50 million, then 25 million. That's usually the formula. Imagine the equivalent. You have a Spider-Man film that opens like 100 million, and then the next weekend it makes 30 million. That's the equivalent. They've lost 70% of their audience or more. That rarely happens. At least you get half to 60% of your audience. Again, if it's a good film. The Wolfman, I can't say, and I have seen it, unfortunately. It is not a good film, so I can't feel sorry for it, but at the same time, holy cow, these numbers are unprecedented. This is like danger zone. If there's a red flag that Blumhouse needs, it's like, this is the red flag. And now, to be fair, this is also a Universal thing, right? Universal, which tried to launch their Scientology universe. Remember with Tom Cruise? There's going to be a Scientology horror MCU dark universe, multiverse. And that thing just came crashing down with Tom Cruise's Scientology mummy not able to convince the kids that, hey, you want a Scientology mummy? It's like, no, the kids are like, no, we don't want Scientology mummy. But Tom is like, no, you want it. No, 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 we really don't. We want Nosferatu. We don't want Scientology mummy. And there we are. So it's sad. The Wolfman is actually them trying to correct course, right? Because they were going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the Dark Universe. They've already spent hundreds of millions of dollars on the rights to Exorcist. An Exorcist Believer just a few years ago, that wasn't making a lot of money either. So where are we exactly? So the new Exorcist is going to have Mike Flanagan, and he promises that he's eliminating the proposed trilogy that David Gordon Green, the guy who put Michael Myers in a sewer. Yeah, that guy. He replaced that guy. So I like Mike. I hope he succeeds. He's a big Stephen King fan. I'm a big Stephen King fan. He's very talented, but I can't lie. A part of me wants him to succeed, but a part of me wants him to fail. Not because I have anything with him, but really, that's the only way Universal and Blumhouse are going to learn is if they lose money. And they're going to lose money on the Wolfman, but they're going to be like, okay, the Wolfman didn't make money, but we've got Woman in the Yard coming. Woman in the Yard. I am not joking. That is one of their upcoming films. I'm like, what? Woman in the Yard? Woman in the Yard. So you have the Wolfman, which is literally one of the biggest things Universal has as a property, as an IP. It's up there with Michael Myers. And the kids are like, how much are you going to pay for the Wolfman? 25 mil? 25 million? We're spending 25 million to make it. Well, that's what you're going to get. So The only thing they could have done was, which is Blumhouse, is keep cutting the budget, which is the Blumhouse specialty. Just keep cutting the budget. Well, they technically did that with Imaginary, which you can quote me on this, is one of the worst films of all time. It's one of the worst horror films of all time. It is so, so, so weak on so many levels. It is one of the worst Blumhouse films. It is just weak. They spent what, 10 million on that one, and even that one didn't make a whole lot of money. So where are they going to go to next? Just keep every film to $5 million? I mean, it's Blumhouse. They might be able to pull it off, but still, you're like, that would literally just get you Michael Myers or the Wolfman. I mean, the Wolfman has four major actors, and these are not like superstars. They're not Tom Cruise. They're not costing like $50 million in Scientology money here, you know? So you could literally have a Blumhouse film in the future that is 5 million with just two actors. What are they going to do? Pretend the Wolfman is outside saying, honey, the Wolfman is out there. Oh, yeah, Wolfman, keep screaming. We'll stay in here in one room location because we can't spend any more money. But let me be fair and factual. And I don't like to say this, but the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy made a lot of money. Made a whole lot of money. Now, people say that Halloween Ends also crashed and burned. No. I mean, I don't know why they did this, but they released Halloween Ends in theaters and on TV. So they cut their own profitability with Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. So yeah, they lost money, but that was their own decision. So technically speaking, the Halloween trilogy was profitable. I'm not saying because I like it, I don't, but it was profitable. Not super profitable, but it did a decent amount. So we've gone from decent box office with Michael Myers to catastrophically bad box office. Like if Kevin Feige or even now James Gunn had this box office, they would get fired. They'd be like, "What the hell happened?" And they just didn't show up. No, see, the problem is they did show up and they told their friends, "Don't see it. Don't see it." And I would say the same thing. If you're gonna see The Wolfman as a horror movie, you're an idiot. However, if you want to see The Wolfman as a comedy, yeah, is it worth paying it in theaters? No, not for $15. I paid like I think $30 for Oppenheimer. Like Oppenheimer was worth $30 that I paid for in theaters, and I was like shocked. $30? Yeah, $30. Whoa. Okay, that's Oppenheimer. Right. And I still love Oppenheimer, but that was very costly for me because I cannot afford $30 per film. I just can't do it. Even when I try to catch a matinee, I'm like, 12 to $15? Yeah, 12 to $15. Like, Wolfman is not worth $15. Like, two Blumhouse films put together with the Wolfman, not worth $15. It's just not a good investment. That is just not a good price for the Wolfman. So the only financial thing they can do is keep cutting the budget, but I got to tell you, the Wolfman itself, it has a little bit of good cinematography here and there. It doesn't look that good for the budget. I mean, it just is like, it looks fine, but it does look cheap. It only looks good in a few places. So, yeah, you can only keep cutting the budget before even the horror fans, who are very forgiving on budgets, like, they don't care 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. As long as it's good, they're like, oh, whatever, 3 million. It's going to show up. It's going to be like, ooh, that doesn't quite look right. So I'm not jumping on the Terrifier bandwagon. I still haven't seen those films. I'm gonna give it a chance. But yeah, when a $2 to $3 million film is making 30 million, and you made a $30 million film and you only made 3 million, yeah, the math ain't gonna math. So I don't know. So I don't hate Jason Blum, and I don't hate Universal. They still have some reservoir of goodwill, but Jesus Christ, they need to do something and they need to do it fast because at this point, forget it. All these future projects, they already look really, really bad and lame. Maybe Mike Flanagan can at least give them one winning story with The Exorcist, but yeah, they got a long road. They got a longer road than the road to the Dark Tower to survive this one. But so there we go. But the final numbers are not in. Maybe Wolfman made like $5 million. There we go. They only lost what, 20 million on this.